With that down, let's move on to main topic number 1. And our first main topic today gets submitted to us by Russell Amador, who writes, according to the Hollywood Reporter, it looks as if Disney finally decided to pump the brakes on the release of Mulan. Other notable movies under the Disney umbrella that have been delayed include Antlers and New Mutants. There's no crystal ball here, but when will these movies see the light of day now? Does this also mean they may be considering moving the Black Widow movie? All right, well, we'll talk about the Black Widow situation a little bit later. But yes, now it's funny because we were just talking on this show yesterday about, Mulan's already done its world premiere. They are ramping up. We got a press screening coming up in a couple of days. Point of note, I still haven't gotten a notification from Disney that the press screening's been canceled, but I'm expecting that email anytime now. And we were discussing yesterday if we thought it was going to be delayed, and all of us thought it was, but Erin, just want to point out, we all said, what percentage is there that this movie actually opens on time? Chris said only 25%. I said between 25 and 10%, so lower, but Erin said 10% or less. And so there you go. So even though we all thought we'll give the win on that one to Erin. So Erin gets the win on that one. So here we are now with Mulan being moved. One of the reasons I thought that there is a chance they may move forward, like I thought it was under 25%, but the reason I thought there was a chance was because they knew the situation in China. And they were fine moving ahead with it anyway. So I thought, well, if that's their biggest problem, blah, 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 blah. But it was probably it is the right move for them to delay it at this point. The film, and so I feel bad for it, but it'll get its release date. I don't believe they're going to pull a Fast 9 and push it all the way off to 2021. I don't believe they're going to do that at all. But the film I really feel bad for, and Antlers will be fine. Antlers will be fine whenever they release it. It's a smaller film, and they're going to get their audience wherever they release it, so I'm fine with Antlers. The movie I got to admit I feel really bad for here is New Mutants. Oh my God, the poor folks over at the New Mutants. This will be, officially, it feels like the 100th, but I believe officially, this will be the 4th missed release date for New Mutants. 4th time. They filmed this movie over 3 years ago. These kids in this movie don't even look like that anymore. They don't look like that. It is just when they finally, it goes to Disney. Disney plants their feet. They're saying, now we've got a release date for you. It looked like they were finally going to see the light of day. And now, who knows how long until we actually do get around to seeing this thing. When it comes to Mulan, listen, the advantage for Disney, I think, in canceling this right now comes from the fact that with everything going on in China, now they can hopefully, fingers crossed, re-coordinate their launch to be more in sync with the launch in China. Because look, I still believe half the reason they made this movie was for the Chinese market. I mean, the Mulan character is a beloved figure in China. So this might actually work out to their advantage a little bit, to do this a little bit of a delay, move this off a little bit more. It's still unfortunate, but it might in the long run be what is best for this particular movie. Rob, you're seeing this situation with Mulan getting moved, New Mutants. There obviously can't be a lot of surprise at this point, but what are your thoughts about it right now? And which of the movies getting moved do you feel the worst for?
Well, I mean, the fact that China is a huge market where they expected Mulan to be big is closed down. They're closed for business as far as movies are concerned. It doesn't surprise me that it's going away. But I have to say, the new TV spots for New Mutants had Ilyana Rasputin use her soul sword. I wanted to see, the demon bear is in full view. I'm watching these trailers and I'm like, I've wanted to see this movie. I love the New Mutants. I love Bill Sienkiewicz's artwork in the New Mutants. I've been so excited. We talked about this movie for years. I want to see this movie so bad. And the new TV spots, I'm like, oh my God, she has her soul sword.
They look so good.
They look so good. And I'm like, what? And okay, to add insult to injury, for those of you who don't know, the New Mutants was directed by Josh Boone. Do you know what Josh Boone is working on right now? Does anyone know?
I don't. Off the top of my head.
What?
He's making CBS's adaptation of Stephen King's book, The Stand.
I didn't know he was working on that.
Which is about a global pandemic.
Oh.
that wipes out the majority of the world's population, setting up the final battle for good and evil between the remaining humans and Randolph Flagg and his band of merry pranksters in Vegas. The Walking Man, the Walking Dude, Captain Trips devastates the Earth. The whole beginning of that miniseries is about this global pandemic that kills everyone. So Josh Boone's New Mutants doesn't get released because of a pandemic while he finishes his miniseries on CBS All Access, which is based on my favorite book of all time about a global pandemic. I don't know what Josh Boone did in this life, but he's being punished. He's being punished.
Hey, I should bring up here quickly. You know, I was just saying about it, as far as I know, this is literally 15 seconds after I said, I'm just going to assume they're going to cancel the thing. I just got this email from Disney who wrote to me the following. As you know, this has been a rapidly evolving situation, and we wanted to make you aware that we are postponing the release of Mulan, the New Mutants, and Antlers out of an abundance of caution. The March 19th all-media screening, which is the one I was going to go to, of Mulan, has been canceled, and we will reschedule once we have a new date. We truly believe in the movie-going experience, and we look forward to having you at Mulan. When the screening is rescheduled, we will be in touch with a new date once it is announced. So just good timing. Good timing. So they just sent that out, and thank you, Disney, for sending that out. Aaron, I mean, again, we talked about a number of films that got delayed yesterday. Now we see this, and we specifically were talking about Mulan. Moved. Any surprise here? Good move, bad move? What could be the silver lining? How are you looking at this?
No surprises at all. You know, it's interesting when you talk about Bloodshot, how much money it's potentially going to make this weekend, given that it may be like the only new film that's opening. You know, Disney, obviously, we know they're going to be fine. They're going to be okay. But as we were talking about before, before we got on camera, a lot of these films that were supposed to premiere at Tribeca that people have worked on so hard, you know, the people in the New Mutants, Josh Boone, for example, which, by the way, I will be very shocked if that miniseries actually comes out.
Oh, it will.
Eventually.
Come on.
Yeah, at some point it'll
With
come
Contagion, Soderbergh's Contagion rising up the charts, Outbreak, people are going back to Wolfgang Petersen's Outbreak.
Right. Yeah, okay. But look at remember Phone Booth?
Yeah.
The Chris Evans movie that like they had to push it because there was a shooter situation, and then there was that show with Ryan Phillippe about a lone shooter as well. Shooter was what it was called, I believe. You know, that kept getting pushed and pushed and pushed. I don't know. I mean, we have our movies like Outbreak that we have grown to love, but then something new. I don't know. I'll be interested to see if this Stephen King miniseries actually does make it to
It's so
air.
good. The book is so good, though.
But I also, I feel bad for the actors and for the people who worked on New Mutants specifically, because a lot of times, as an actor, people don't necessarily always know this. Your next thing is what everybody is like, okay, that's going to be the thing that launches whatever is next for your career. For me, I was working, and then all of a sudden I did 2 episodes of Mad Men. And once that came out, it changed the trajectory of my career, and I was seen in a different way. But until these things come out, a lot of times people they want to see your work, especially if you are a younger actor, like most of the actors in New Mutants are. And so a lot of these actors, they're going to go on to other things, but they're waiting for this project to come out. And a lot of people that are involved in it, this project is the thing that's going to propel them to the next thing. So I really feel bad for everybody that's involved in it, and I hope that they're able to move on to things that don't involve pandemics.
What you're saying is absolutely true, and you think about somebody like Maisie Williams, who was on an upward trajectory. Game of Thrones ended. I mean, she was hoping this movie would plot, like you said, the next stage of her career, and she's kind of been stalled out.
Yeah, it's all about momentum.
She's got a new little movie coming out on Netflix now.
Right.
She's
had a couple things like the Eye Boy.
Yeah, but
or
nothing
whatever.
I've heard of or had any buzz or that I've seen for certain. Anyway, guys, the question is for you. How do you feel about this? Good move, bad move? Do you think this could have some long-term benefits to making a move like this? Maybe some downside? What are you guys thinking about it right now? Jump down to the comment section below and let me know your thoughts. All right.